Hello and welcome back to another video in the Moodle Course Development Series. I'm Joe Deegan, and in this video you'll learn how to evaluate students and track progress using the Gradebook. In the last section, you learned how to make your courses more social with interactive social activities. Now you're going to learn how to check your students' scores on course activities and how to customize grading settings for your course. So let's head over to a course site where we can take a look at an example of a gradebook. From here on the course site, the Gradebook can be accessed by scrolling down to the Course Administration menu and selecting the Grades option that you see here. And then after clicking on Grades, you'll be brought to this screen, which is your Gradebook. And the Gradebook displays scores for each graded activity in the course, like quizzes, lessons, score modules, and other activities where you're able to give a score. And as you can see, when I access the Gradebook, I'm brought to what's called the Grader Report, where I can see the names and scores of everybody enrolled in the course. And this is because I'm logged in as the administrator. So this is what the teacher would see, but if you're a student, you'll be brought to the user report where you'll only be able to see your own score. And if you're logged in as an administrator or a teacher, you can access the grader or the user report along with other grading options using this drop-down menu in the upper left. And as you can see, the user report is right here, so I'll click on that, and we'll be brought to this screen showing only their grades, which is what the students are brought to when they click on the grades option from the course site. So to get back to the grader report, where I can see everybody's grades, I'll just go back up to the drop-down menu and select Grader Report from the top of the list. And something great about the Gradebook is that the calculations and scoring for each activity can be edited and customized to suit the purposes of your course activities. And you can even manually edit the students' scores if you need to. So in order to edit scores and access some of these configuration settings, you'll need to turn editing on, and then you'll see I have some more editing icons appear. So I'll turn editing on. And then you'll see I have these new edit icons appear, and I can manually enter a grade or edit a grade for a student. So to edit a grade, I just need to type in and then click the Update button. You can also access the grading configuration settings for each activity in the Gradebook by clicking on the edit icon that appears in each column after you turn editing on. So if you'd like to change how the scores are aggregated or calculated, then you'll want to use this drop-down menu in the upper left, and we're going to want to go to this Full View option. And this is where we'll have more settings. So I'll select Full View. And then after selecting Full View, you'll be brought to this screen where you can select a different aggregation method or configure how you want the score to be calculated. The first thing you'll want to configure is the aggregation method using this drop-down menu. And as you can see, you have several options that all have different methods for calculating the total score for the graded activities. By default, the simple weighted mean of grades option will be selected, which is used if you want the activities to have the same value towards the overall score. If you want some activities to be worth more or have a greater weight towards the overall score, then you may want to change the aggregation method to weighted mean of grades that you see here. Then you'll be able to customize the percentage of the overall score that each activity is worth. Or if you simply want the overall score to be determined by adding up the score in each activity, then you can use the sum of scores option. Then after selecting the aggregation method, you'll want to double check this aggregate only non-empty grades option, which tends to cause some confusion. If you leave this option checked, it will only aggregate the score using the activities that the student has completed. So if they don't complete an activity, then that activity won't be used in the overall score. So if you want to make sure the overall score is calculated based off of all activities, whether the student has completed them or not, then make sure to uncheck this option. One more useful option we'll cover here is the option to add grade categories. And grade categories are nice if you have a lot of graded activities in your course, and you want to organize them into groups so that it's easier to look through grades. So for example, if I want to group these activities into sections or maybe by subject, then I'll click this Add Category button, and I'm brought to this screen where I can enter a title and configure the settings for my grade category. So I'll go ahead and do that now. And then after configuring the settings, we'll click Save, and we'll be brought back to the Full View where we can see our new category, but we still need to add some activities to it. So to do that, you can click the Move icon in the activity that you want to move into the category. So we'll say I want to move this quiz down into our new math category. So I'll click Move, and then I'll click in this box here to add it to the math category. And something that's great about new categories is that you can select different aggregation methods and scoring for your quizzes or activities that are in that category. So if I want the activities that are in this math category to be calculated differently, then I can change the settings here to however I want it to be displayed. And then once I'm done, I'll click Save Changes. So now that I've added my grade category and configured the aggregation methods, I can go back to the grader report, but you may want to change how your gradebook looks and what kind of options you have displayed. So to do that, I can go back to the drop-down menu and select My Preferences for the Grader report. And then from here you have several options that will allow you to customize the look and feel of the grader report. To change the look of the gradebook, you can use these drop-down menus to change settings, then click the Save Changes button. But I'd recommend testing out various options so you can see all of the options you have available to you. For example, you could change the look of the gradebook by having your students' profile pictures displayed. Or you could see more information about how your students are performing by having the grade averages displayed. Or you can make grading a little easier for teachers by enabling the quick grading and quick feedback settings. So you have quite a few settings available to you, so make sure to test them out to see how you can customize the gradebook for your needs. And then after clicking Save Changes, you'll be brought back to the gradebook where you can see the results of your change. And that's how you can change how scores are calculated and the overall look and feel for the gradebook. Okay, time for a little practice. Customize the gradebook for your course so it works best for each activity in your course. Make sure to think about what type of aggregation method you want to use and how much you want each activity to be worth towards your final grade. And don't be scared to test out various options and preferences to see if it will work out best for you. In this video, you learned how to customize the gradebook for the purposes of your course. In the next section, we'll talk about how you and your students can track their progress towards completion of the course. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.